Hafara everyone, and welcome back to another video of Osahra. Of course I'm here joined, well it's not that of course, but I'm here joined by my friend $2.20. Hi man.
Hafara Skibbeth. Hafara everyone.
Well, unfortunately it's not that normal anymore. Lately we've been alone by ourselves during the commentary, but you know, life happens, and the difference of these hours between us, it's kinda big
hours between us.
Yeah. Okay, so let's talk about what we are doing, what I'm doing here. I wanted to expand our big boulevard there, and when I wanted to do that, I was thinking, why not prolong it with even a highway at a point, because the highway on this side is in another place, and that's what I did. I continued the boulevard, but also the a highway, so I linked it with the highway. And then I said, why not going for a commercial area? And well, you're about to see me starting in a bit the commercial area. I will skip the parts where I'm going to do the lines, because I can't survive without doing the lines for any kind of intersection, big intersection or interchange or so on. So I will skip those parts, most of it. But don't laugh. I'm sick. I can't stop.
I think we like, you enjoy plopping down those lines. I hate doing it so much. I think we love what each other hate. And I see where you're building right now, and I've been looking at this spot thinking, I don't want to build in that area. And you're building at it, man. Thank you so much.
Well, see, that's what. This is why we did this collaboration, because we can. We feel each other's gaps or bad things that we hate or something, because you did also some of the parts that I hate. Well, we talk about that in the previous episodes, but yeah, indeed. So this is the roundabout from where the highway will start. So those who are prepared to say, why roundabout on the highway? Well, because this is where it starts and ends if you come from the other side, of course. Yeah, it was a fun build. And as I mentioned, I had a little issue which turned out into a big issue. I have some props disappear at a point. There is a glitch between either some modes or some buildings. I'm not totally sure. I don't think it's modes, because this happens since like we start this series, maybe. I still blame some of the buildings, but yeah, I had to restart the game so many times in order to have all the props back on the map.
That's the worst, man. I've had a couple of little issues with Osahra as well. I couldn't tell. I mean, hopefully what you've just done is fixed it, and we can continue building problem free, I guess.
I hope so. I hope it is fixed. I haven't had an issue after I tried to solve it by deleting some of the stuff that I thought might be the problem, the issue. But for now it was good. It was good. And I'm glad with this area what I did here. By the way, also those guys that will prepare saying, it's a bit too fancy maybe for Osahra. It's not fancy at all. It is in the middle of the desert almost, so it's not fancy. I did it a little bit, let's say, not in the usual Osahrian style that we have here, poor, ugly and bad. It is a commercial area, so with big shops there, malls and whatnot. So I wanted to make it just a little bit, let's say, fancier, a little bit, not too fancy, just a little bit. But it turned out pretty well, and I've been using this building also. Some of you will also say, what is this? Well, it's a building that has a passage through it, so the highway can pass through it. And I wanted to use it so many times in my videos, and I said this is a more perfect moment. It will be placed near a shop, a very big shop area, so we can imagine this is like a parking area, elevated parking building or so.
This is so cool. Like, I actually didn't think about putting something like this around here. And, I think, like Osahra's, like, I don't think you should worry too much about the you know, how much wealth goes into this one build, because, you know, Osahra's pretty well divided. I mean, as you saw in my last build, we did a, you know, that was definitely not on a budget. That was as flash as it comes. So, you know, I think you can justify it a bit.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's impossible even if you want to keep it on as we want. It is kind of impossible because we are missing lots of buildings. At a point, I plopped there a supermarket, and then I said maybe people will think, oh, what is this supermarket doing here in Osahra, and so on. So I'll try to avoid as much as I can some of the things, but well, it is impossible. It really is impossible. That was the roundabout that you just saw a few seconds ago. That is a roundabout that will be done in the background, I mean off camera, with the lines and everything else. I will show it again later on at the end of the video, and of course in the cinematics. But I said let's not do this entire video about that little roundabout with all the lines and so on, because maybe it's better to show more of the building style here.
Oh man, I tell you what, you can build as many roundabouts as you like. You know, as long as you take care of the roads in Osahra, I'm more than happy with that.
Yeah, well, I love the roads. I love roads. I love traffic. I love everything it's related to roads. So I kind of love them. At the point, it gets annoying to plop the lines if you do it for 5 hours, maybe. I've done it for 10 hours long time ago, so I'm kind of used to it. But yeah, it gets annoying at a point. But I've learned lots of things and tricks, and it makes pleasure. It's a pleasure.
Yeah. I mean, what you're doing right now would have taken me like 4 hours. So, you know, that's a good indication of my skill level when it comes to roads. I just, I don't. Well, you know, I do enjoy them sometimes, but you know, when I'm trying to like build other stuff and they kind of pop up, I just go, oh man, this is the worst. Oh, I can see you using those new roads that were.
Oh yeah.
Man, they are just so good. They are so good.
I can't believe someone thought of that, because if you say and think about it, it's you don't need a special mode or anything. It's just thanks to the new road editor added by the creators of this game. It's amazing. It is amazing. I love them. And you can even change lots of shapes there and plop lots of decals to make it look like either bad, worse, you know, with cracks and dirt and so on. But they are impressive. I didn't want to do a crazy shape. I just wanted to do a normal, let's say, shape of the parking area here. And I'm glad that people started using it later on. And one more thing, man. You know, in the last episode when we did a commentary together, we were thinking why everything is not working as it should be.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, the first thing I've done when I started this video, before I started the video, it was to give power to the entire city and water as well.
No.
And the population jumped from 25k to 35k, as you see on the screen right now. Yeah, and we have traffic in the city now. We have people moving around. Yeah, for example, we lost the traffic in front of the train station there, and people were not parking anymore. And I was like, what happened? And well, it seems that power and water is what they were missing, I guess.
I can't believe that. I mean, actually, no, I can believe it, because I forgot that we had that mod turned on, and if people don't know that this mod is what is it called? No problems. Yeah. And it's basically telling us that our city had no problems, but underneath the surface, I mean, it doesn't really get rid of the problem; it just hides it. And with, you know, the city not having any power or water, I guess it was only a small part of our city that was being lived in, I guess. So that's so cool. I'd love to load up the game actually and check out who's living in the slums or the big high-rises we plopped down.
Exactly, man. Exactly. Well, when you do like details and stuff and so on, I mean, I don't want to take care of water, sewage, and everything else. I want to just detail and plop stuff there. That's why I love that mode, the no problems mode. But for some buildings, for example, for the big buildings, for unique buildings, and for train stations, airports, and so on, they really do need water and power. Without them, they are not working no matter what. That is something that I really knew. But now that we have water, our unique buildings are working also very good, bringing people, tourists, and sexy women here in Osahra.
Wonderful. That's great. It is so good. I'm so happy that that's happening now. That's great. That's awesome. I can't wait to check it out. I'm going to fully check it out. I might even let the game play for like half an hour and just watch people move in.
Yeah, some people are moving in, some are leaving the city. For example, now we are having people leaving the city, but this is a normal thing for the game. Yeah, I don't know if you noticed while we were talking, I was doing this side of the shops, and at a point everything disappeared, all the props and the trees. That was one of those moments when I said, "No way, Jose," and. It is again, it is annoying. And I've been using lots of trees here, plantiers, some, let's say, these fountains. I've tried to make some new shapes, new stuff for this area. And I'm kind of satisfied, I might say, with how it turned out.
Yeah, I think I'm probably going to copy and paste them into my own areas, to be honest.
Yeah, well, we did this so many times. I also did it. I'm wandering in the city, see, what can I copy here? What can I use? Yeah,
I'm totally going to do that. I'm literally just going to use Move It and go. Like that fountain you just plopped down just then, like that's going to feature in the next build when I build the walkway, when I finish off that financial district. That is definitely something I'm stealing.
Cool, man. I love that. I told you that in private. I love that hotel with the. You did a nice road in front of it, and some cars parked there. Where you said that maybe the. How is that? That guy that parks
the valet?
Valet. Okay, yeah. That building and the idea was pretty awesome. Well, the entire build, man. It was, but that one especially was super cool.
Yeah, that was, I think, my favorite part of the actual build. I mean, it's so nice seeing the skyline now in Osahra because, so long we've just been building and building and building, but then, actually looking at the city from far away, it doesn't really have too much of a city feel to it, but now it actually finally feels like a bit of a city, which is really fun. Actually, while we're on that topic, I do want to address, I put it out to the people in the last video asking what they would like, or what they think the building should be used for, or the two biggest skyscrapers. We actually had a lot of people suggesting very similar things, and one of the things, so the tallest building, a lot of people were mentioning how the main building, one of the buildings should be the head of the petroleum companies within Osahra. So that is now the official title of that one of those buildings. I'm going to say the left building is now head of petroleum within Osahra. But then the right side of that building, so because they are joined in the middle, the right side of that building is actually going to be rented out as like a 5-star hotel. So, that is, it's crazy how many people actually mentioned that as an option. And yeah, I think that fits really nicely for our little story as well for Osahra. How does that fit for you?
Yeah, sounds very cool idea with this combination of a hotel and a company. Really cool.
And
that's really cool.
It's really cool because like so many people are like adding so much to the stories of Osahra, and somebody actually sent me a link in that description. So in the comments before, we'll put it in the description of this video. And I think the name was Oliver Kuntrat, and he he's basically made like the whole history of Osahra. I haven't mentioned this to you, Skip, yet, so I wanted to leave it as like a bit of a surprise for this video. Like I said, we'll link it in the description below, but he has like this amazing history that he's done, like a whole timeline of Osahra from 1800s to I think 2001. It goes through like a lot of the things that we talk about in the builds, like the French, being part of, the colonization of Osahra, and even like some sort of Soviet era as well. So it's really taken on board a lot of the things that we've been talking about. I'll show you that link, Skip, and I think you would really enjoy it.
Yeah, please do so. I'm curious. We have our guys there that comes with ideas, the gamer guy as well, but I didn't know about a big story about the history of Osahra like this, and I'm curious to read it. Cool.
Well, Gamer Guy did actually leave a whole bunch of information about the name of the building and a bit more history about that financial district, as well as Blujitsu and Simona. We have heaps of information about it, all pretty much exactly the same. Like, I didn't even have to really choose ones that fit the best. They all pretty much flow within one another, which is really cool. So yeah, I mean, definitely I'll leave a link to that. Well, no, Skippeth will leave a link to that in the description. Sorry, Skip, just giving you some extra jobs to do.
Yeah, sure, man. I'm looking forward to read it and to see what's the history for our country here, for our little country. That's really awesome. You know what would be it would be even awesomer, or more awesome, how is it called? If someone would do two statues with our dictators here, which will be like us, but not to redo us as a statues, but something like a statue with the leaders, because usually in these communist cities, countries, they do lots of they create lots of their own statues.
Amazing.
Yeah,
amazing.
I don't know.
Idea there.
Yeah, it's something very hard to do, because I've heard Armesto and others saying that you need not a different skill to do it, because it's not only about the skills, but it's a little bit too much work to do those round shapes, and it depends on some stuff. There are lots of statues on the workshop, but maybe not something meant for Osahra. For
fingers crossed. Fingers crossed. I mean,
exactly,
yeah.
Man.
I do expect people to model a statue of my face for this. That'll be lovely.
Yeah. Indeed.
No, it'd just be so good to be like I don't know where we'd put it though. Like, would it go in front of the mansion, or would it go somewhere near the financial district? Like, where would it sit in Osahra?
Everywhere.
50 of them all over the place.
Yeah, exactly. Well, we are getting close to the end of this video. Tell us on a very, very short notice if you have any idea for the next build.
I'm gonna finish off that financial district. I semi-finished it in the last episode. I plan to do like a whole riverfront and boat scene, and keeping it pretty flash and pretty nice. I'd love some suggestions, and I haven't started building it yet, guys. So if you have any suggestions, leave them below so I can check them out and put them in during the weekend's build. But yeah, I mean it's pretty much similar to what I did last week, but better.
Well,
always
that's
better.
Cool, man. That's cool. Small steps. It will make it great eventually. So we don't have to build. Even now, I was struggling to build this commercial area, make it even bigger, and add some other stuff. But it takes quite a lot of time, really. And sometimes time is not our friend, as you know.
Yeah.
So guys, I think this is it. We have to wrap it up. The cinematics will hit us in just a few seconds. From me, it's a big thanks for watching. Don't forget to hit the like button. Subscribe if you want, if you like our content, mine and $2. go to his channel as well. And well, see you next time, next week on his channel.
Yeah, that's right.